Welcome back to another episode of Pizza and Property. This is your weekly slice edition. My name is Todd Sloan, and today we're going to be answering a question that's been sent in by a few people recently, talking about more like live deals, is like what's actually been purchased now, not stuff that's happened 6-12 months ago, but like what's literally happened like a couple of weeks ago. More specifically, we're talking about deals that are under $600,000. We're talking about high yielding deals, like we're talking 5-6% yields. And what's it actually taking to get these right now, like at the end of 2022? By the way, I hope you got a fun New Year's plan. But for now, let's get into the fun with Mr. Joe Tucker from Property Principles about sourcing, putting together, and actually locking down and closing high-yielding deals in this market right now. Joe Tucker, it's been too long, man. How you going?
Toddy Sloan, how are you, mate? I'm fabulous.
Me too, man. And I'm really looking forward to this episode because I think that finding a higher yield is becoming more and more important the more interest rates continue to rise. And the big question mark around all that is how much longer are they going to keep rising for as well? But finding yields are also getting more and more difficult now as well. So I thought bringing you onto the show because you seem to be closing some deals lately that have some pretty damn good yields. So I thought if you could open up a few that you've got or a few live listings and then just basically walk our viewers through how you've really come about them and share a few tips, man, it'd be super helpful. So did you want to start with number one?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, I guess the whole point of what I wanted to cover off today is to actually go into suburbs and locations that I'm buying in where I see opportunities, because I don't see many people talking about actual suburbs and actual locations. So these properties are all under $600,000 with a 5+% yield. Vacancy rates are under 1.5%. And really the data tells you where to go. There's 15,000 suburbs in Australia. You then have to whittle it down and then get your butt to that location. So that is it.
Fantastic, man. Where's the first location we're getting our butt to?
Yeah, we're jumping on a plane. We are flying to Logan. There's a bit of a stigma, and rightly so, about Logan, but there are over 70 suburbs in location. So it's not fair to paint the Logan with the same brush. So just a kind of high level data, some things to give you a bit of an understanding. Logan's population is going to increase by 50% to about 550,000 residents. So that's going to require an immense amount of infrastructure that it currently doesn't have, and it's going to need investment to support that, and it's only 30 minutes away from the city. So this is a suburb called Tanamera. The median price for this suburb is $710,000, and the capital growth rate year on year for the past 10 years has been 9%. So this purchase is what we would call a granny flat with strategic equity release or strategic equity harvest. So we purchased it well below the median price point at $590,000, but the rent will be $600 a week rent. So that's a 5.1% yield. That's not going to blow your socks off, but it's half decent.
Yeah, it's respectable, but it's not crazy.
Yeah, it's nothing too crazy. It's kind of what you'd want to aim for. You'd be trying to get that 5% and above. But the true value of this is the granny flat opportunity and fourth bedroom onto it. And it really depends on where you want to go, what you need as a buyer. Do you need to release equity to get your deposit back? What do you need to do? Do you need the cash flow? Are you in a position that you should be building this granny flat now? So if we built a granny flat, $180,000, it would be giving us an extra $400 a week rent. So overall for the house and the granny flat, we would be all in $770,000.
Yep.
$1,000 a week rent would be a 6.7% yield.
6.7%. Okay. And when, let's talk timeframes. Like you got this, a month ago, 6 months ago? How recent?
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay. So these are deals that are happening right now. Okay.
Right now.
And what was one of the most important parts of actually making that deal happen? Because that's, I think, the real crux for people to take away.
This property relationship. You got to build relationships with agents and be the go-to person for them. This property went for sale. It was on the market for one day. I spoke with the agent the day before she listed it, and that gave us the opportunity to crunch the numbers and do the deal and secure it the next day. So you've got to be able to build relationships with these people so that you get a bit of a heads up. An early heads up helps immensely so you can crunch all the due diligence on it.
Love it. All right. And what are we looking at for the next property there, Joe?
So now we're getting on a nice long flight over into Western Australia.
Yeah.
We are going to go to Morley, which is in the Bayswater Council. It has a new Metrolink train line going in that is almost complete. That is 15 minutes to the city. Well, right now it's a 15-minute drive, but this opportunity, and this is what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to find problems and create solutions. This property here was listed as a 3-bed, 1-bath, but it was mismarketed. We did the inspection on this property and it was actually a 4-bed, 2-bath. The agent didn't care about the property and didn't really list it very well. Ugly photos with phone cameras. So look for those type of things. That's a quick tip. Look for ugly properties and terribly listed properties, because that's where an opportunity is. Also, the property was rented. So when the property is rented, people are like, oh, great, the rent is so low. Sometimes the market hasn't moved.
Yep.
But that creates an opportunity where no one's going to want to take on this lease for another 6 months because it should be at 550, but it's actually at 450. So all of these little annoying things are problems that we can turn into a solution. So instantly we created, so this was at 4.5% growth rental yield where it stands. However, it should be at 5.2%. It should be a $550 a week rent purchase.
And I'm assuming you probably bought some equity there. If the agent's thinking it's a 3-in-1 and really it's a 4-in-2, that's a big mistake.
That is a massive mistake. And all we did, and the reason why is because it was in RP data as a 3-in-1. So all he did was just run an RP data report. Here you go. This is the price here. It's $540,000. Take it or leave it. But actually in that area, the price is $600,000 for a 4-and-2, roundabout there. So instant equity created straight away. The true value of this property is that it has subdivision potential. So we're going to knock down the garage, put a house at the back. And key point about this one is you need to add value. Don't buy the end product. Don't buy a house and land package. Don't buy an off-the-plan unit because you can't add any value to it. There's no future value add. However, all of a sudden, we've turned this property from a 3-bed to a 4-bed, emailing RP data and saying, hey guys, look at this. Boom, instant equity uplift. And then in 10 years' time, we can put another house on the back and get more cash flow, exactly like the granny flat situation there.
Mate, I love it. This is brilliant. Okay, so see the opportunity really sounds like the flavor with this one. Like basically, don't take it at face value. If you can look a little bit deeper, there might be some amazing opportunity, but you need to know what you're looking for.
Yes.
Okay.
You need to know.
All right, awesome. And just being mindful of time here, Joe, what's the third one if we can quickly scrape this one in?
Let's do this one. So this was an ugly duckling. That is what we call them. This is a property in Salisbury Plains, which is north of Adelaide, about 30 minutes away from the city.
Yep.
Listed online for $520,000. We secured it for $508,000 because they ran the open home. We did not get speedy onto this one as quickly as we could have.
Okay.
But once we did the inspection, we realized there's a smashed window here. There's a very interesting native hydroponic setup out the back in the shed.
Does that increase cash flow or?
It does not increase cash flow, but it turns everybody off. So the people that went through the property, so the agent started to get a little bit desperate, but we saw every problem has a solution. It just has a cost attached. So there was a smash window here. It was a mortgagee in repossession. So the person came back and started doing some damage to the place, but it got taken off him. But we saw that we only needed to spend $15,000 onto this property, but it gave us $670 a week rent.
And so what's that yielding?
That is yielding 6.8% yield.
That's
after,
huge.
sorry, it was a $9,000 renovation that we did. Plus, it's now valued at about $550,000 to $560,000. But it was ugly. No one wanted it, but we saw the opportunity and created that. Now the client's got 6.8% yield.
All right, Joe, just being mindful of time here, mate. If you can wrap that one up, the most important takeaway for someone listening, what's the most important one in one sentence?
You got to find problems and create solutions. They may not look like an opportunity, but you need to dig in and find them, and they're out there and you'll get paid for it.
Mate, love it. And I love the fact that you're doing this like right now as well. So Joe Tucker from Property Principles, thank you so much for sharing the locations and just sharing all of this on the show, mate. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Todd.
If you guys are wanting more episodes like this kind of style of like packing a whole bunch into just a little weekly slice, like let me know, because this whole thing came about because a dude named Toby messaged me and said like, want to see more deals that are like recent, like what can you do on the podcast? This all literally happened with the space of like a few days. I get on the phone to Joe and it's like, hey man, what deals have you got going on? Do you want to like quickly throw something together that's like pretty much live? And within the space of minutes, he's writing back with like 3 deals straight away. And the reason I like this is because it kind of walks through a few of the really important parts and what you want to look for in an area, what you really want to do to make sure that you're the top of the list. You're working with speed to be able to close these deals, but it points out so concisely, like it's still happening. All of this doom and gloom in the media is like, set that aside. People are still making very good money in the real estate market in the end of 2022. So cheers for that idea, Toby. We'll send you out a t-shirt, mate. And if you guys have got any ideas, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and just like get in touch, send a message or email one through at info@pizzaandproperty.com. But that is enough from me. I hope you guys have got an absolutely magical New Year's Eve planned. Let's be honest, if you're going out to town, town, like you're probably just going to be waiting around for a cab and paying too much money for drinks. So I hope you've got some amazing friends coming around or going to like a friend's house for some pizza, for some drinks, for some love with everyone that means something to you guys. Have yourself an absolutely magical start to 2023. My name is Todd Sloan. This is the Pizza or Property Podcast. And as always, have yourself an amazing rest of the week and stay awesome.